In this series, I visit Ireland for an incredible road trip, exploring the beauty of the coast and the countryside. Renowned for its rolling hills, rugged coastline and impressive castles, Ireland has a dramatic landscape. Join me in this video where I kick off my adventure on the beautiful Causeway Coast in Northern Ireland.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to Northern Ireland, and more specifically this is the Giants Causeway, a pretty infamous stretch of coastline here. Really excited to be here because over the next week or so I'll be travelling from where I am now, and I'll be going down the west coast of Ireland all the way down to the Dingle Peninsula. So yeah, I think I packed in quite a lot for this trip. A lot of driving, but I wanted it to be a bit of a road trip, so really excited for it, and I think it's going to be a great adventure. Flew into Dublin last night and made the drive over to the Causeway Coast, and I'll be staying here for the next 2 nights before then moving on to Donegal. Seen some pretty spectacular images of this coastline and just how dramatic it is. I've actually been to Northern Ireland before, but I haven't actually been to the Republic of Ireland, so it's a new country for me, which is pretty exciting. Alright, so headed back to the car now, and yeah, that was really good actually. I really enjoyed just wandering around there, photographing the various shapes and textures. So the plan for today is I'm going to explore a little bit further up this coastline. There's a couple of castles, or ruins of castles, which look pretty cool, and yeah, there's a couple of really sort of dramatic beaches that I want to check out. So yeah, just gonna go for a drive and see what I can see.
The first stop further up the coast was Dunseverick Castle. Now a ruin, the castle dates back to the 5th century and was once a royal stronghold and an important fortification. Located nearby is Dunseverick Falls, which was a lovely place to have a quick walk. I then went to a nearby cafe called Bothy White Park Bay for a delicious breakfast, before then going to the small harbour of Ballintoy.
Just had a really nice breakfast, and I've now come to a place called Ballintoy. It's a very pretty harbour, got some beautiful beaches here, really dramatic sea stacks, and yeah, pretty cool place to have a little wander. Oh wow, this is great. Really nice walk. It's very idyllic is how I'd describe it. In the field back there were some rabbits, baby rabbits, sort of playing in the field. Birds are chirping, and yeah, it's great. Lots of sheep about. What more do you want?
I then paid a visit to the ruins of Kinbane Castle. Dating back to the early 16th century, the castle is dramatically situated on a rugged cliff. It's been involved in various military conflicts over time, and the castle fell into disrepair with further erosion by the elements. I then headed to Murlough Bay, and at this point the sun started to shine and the drive there was simply stunning.
Oh wow, I certainly wasn't expecting this. Firstly, the weather, beautiful, wonderfully sunny. And secondly, the scenery is absolutely spectacular. Everywhere around me is like towering hills. It's just, yeah, spectacular.
This was a really beautiful area, and this solitary tree was very photogenic. As the afternoon went on, I made a quick visit to Dunseverick Castle, which was spectacular. I would later on come back to this castle and photograph it from a slightly different angle at sunset. But before then, I headed back to Dunseverick Castle.
So it's turned out to be a really nice afternoon weather-wise. Certainly didn't expect this. And yeah, I've just been going to various locations, enjoying the sun, taking it easy. And I've come back to one of the castles I came to this morning. Yeah, it's a really, really dramatic scene. It's been a brilliant first day here. It's been a long day. The days are very long at this time of year. Sunrise is at 5 AM, sunset's at 9:30, I think. So yeah, long days, but when it's like this, it's definitely worth it. Alright, so my first full day is coming to an end, and what a great sunset, some beautiful colours. And one thing I've noticed actually is the golden light seems to last quite a long time. The sun sets quite slowly. I would love to go a little bit further to the cliff edge into that field there, but unfortunately can't do that because it's private property. Alright, so I've come to another National Trust property on this stretch of the coastline. I've come to the Musenden Estate. So the main reason I wanted to come here is there's quite a photogenic temple on the cliff edge. And yeah, you get some really, really spectacular views looking up and down the coast. Unfortunately, the weather is a little bit drizzly, so visibility isn't great, but just really enjoying being out in the outdoors. Speaking of the National Trust properties, quite a lot of the things to do in Northern Ireland on this northern coast does seem to be run by the National Trust and part of their setup. I've got an annual membership with them, which allows me to get into these places and park at the car parks for free. So if you're not a member, it can rack up, so it might be worth linking into getting a membership. I'm walking through the remnants of what used to be a big mansion here. I think it was lived in up until World War II, and then it was used for military practice or something, and it just sort of fell into disrepair. Coming to the end of another day, and as you might be able to tell, I'm at Giants Causeway, and yeah, it's been a bit of a tough day today with the rain, and I sort of generally feel like I've done everything that I wanted to do on this coast because the days are so long. You know, I'm up at sunrise, which is really early at this time of year, and sunset is really late, so I'm able to squeeze quite a lot into a single day. It's been really easy to explore this area actually, just because everything's quite close to one another, and where I'm staying is sort of right in the centre of all of it, so you can get quite a lot done in a short amount of time. I've come this morning to the dark Hedges, the infamous road made famous by a certain TV programme. I remember seeing an image of this road probably 10 years ago or something, long before it was really popular. As soon as you get a long lens on and compress the scene, it just looks incredibly dramatic and beautiful. I also read that pretty much all of these beech trees are reaching the end of their life, so a lot of them are weakened and falling over whenever there's a storm. So you never know, I think in 10 years this scene won't look as it does now. It goes to show that you should make the most of these locations and see them while you can. I think the biggest tip when you come to this location is to come early, because it does get very busy. I've seen some pictures of this road just completely full of people. It's also best to come here in the summer when the trees have leaves, obviously, because it sort of adds to the enclosed feel as you go through.
I then headed to the Carrick-A-Rede Rope Bridge walk, where you can get some spectacular views of the coastline.
So I've come to the rope bridge walk, and yeah, I've just been across actually, and it's quite wobbly. It's quite wobbly. It's definitely not one for those afraid of heights. I had this pinned as somewhere that I could go if I had enough time, but it's been worth it actually. I've had a little bit of time this morning before I head over to Donegal, so yeah, it's really cool. Some nice scenery here as well, and the sun is coming out as well, which is really lovely.
This was a brilliant walk to do, and just as a heads up, you do need to book a slot in advance in order to cross the rope bridge, just so it doesn't get too busy. And that would be the end of my time in Northern Ireland. In the next video, I'll be making my way to County Donegal to explore more of the beautiful coastal spots. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.